Get to Abbi next, right?
Oh, good.
3-0 victory over Sheffield United. No regrets at all. No, listen, not even a tinge of regret that if you'd have really gone for it against City, you could have been in the top four Champions League.
Not remotely. From me personally.
I can't stand it, you know. It's mad.
You can't stand
shamelessness.
Why?
No, I love Abbi, but around this table,
No,
the
but there wasn't.
shamelessness
Like,
is crazy.
genuinely, bear in mind
I see why Arsenal fans go for it.
Bear in mind that it's not just me. A lot of my friends are Spurs fans. My partner is a Spurs fan, and we actually discussed it yesterday.
Real bad
and we said neither of us literally no regrets, none whatsoever.
No regrets.
No regrets, but shout out Odegaard. shout out.
Oh,
no regrets. Loved it.
but it is a fifth place finish.
Fifth place.
Sum up your season.
I would give the season kind of what I hoped that we would achieve this year.
Out of 10, what would you give it?
I would give it. I actually think about this on the way in. I would give it 6.5/7 out of 10. That's what I'd give it. And if you would have said to me at the start of the season, which I think you actually did say to me, what is my expectation? It was between probably 5th to 7th. I probably would have said where I thought we would go. Obviously, didn't really know how we would necessarily play under Ange, only kind of what I'd heard about and the way I saw him play at Celtic. But didn't necessarily know if that would translate well into the Premier League. And I think we've seen this season that it can translate, but there obviously are some frailties in that system. First half of the season obviously was really good, and then obviously second half was not so good. But that's okay, because I think that, this is a young team. It's a very transitional season for us as well. Losing Harry Kane the day before a season starts is a very big loss. And I think that we've coped with that quite well. We've actually scored more goals this season than when Harry Kane was there, which is a really weird stat and way to think. And overall, I think Ange has done well. I think, if someone offered me Europa League in 5th place, I'd have said, good. That's an improvement from last year. Last year we were 8th. So
Not disappointed, though, the fact that you spent most of the season up in around the top 4. No, I'm just saying it. I'm not even. It's not even a dig,
I
is it?
have
Right?
always said that if we could have got top 4, and if that was an option, then great. But I still stand by the fact I don't feel like Spurs are ready to be in the Champions League at the moment. I still think there's too many players that need to go still. I think we still need to fully understand the way that Ange wants us to play and be confident in that.
And this pre-season to do it and get ready for that.
Okay, but this is his first season.
Yeah, so he would have had that under the belt, got Champions League, then you go again in the transfer market, change the team, get rid of players.
But I've seen that happen under Jose, I've seen that happen under Conte, and I think, there's nothing wrong with being in Europa League. Plus, the format is different this year. Coming next season, sorry. So the teams from the Champions League don't drop in. This is a really good opportunity for Spurs to focus and hopefully win something, and that's fine with me. Of course, you want to be on the bigger stage. Of course, you want to win and not win, but be in the Champions League. Ooh. But I think there's more chance of Tottenham winning something in the Europa League, especially in the new format, and I want them to focus on that. That's
all in for Europa League. This is it.
Yeah, I'm putting all my eggs in that basket. I want us to win the Europa League, and they need to win a trophy. It's time now. You don't get a trophy for top 4. You don't. You get a trophy for winning a trophy, and that's what I want Tottenham to focus on.
This sounds like a speech from Ange.
Well, listen.
It's about winning.
Mate. It's about a winning mentality. That's who we are, mate. High line for life and a winning mentality. So I want to see that next year, and I want to see us, work on set pieces. That's my one wish. But overall, I'm very happy with the season. Could be better second half, but overall, I think 6.5, 7 out of 10 for Ange's first season. Take it.
Finished terribly, though, isn't it? I mean,
actually, the last 2 games have been all right.
Right, 8 games, 6 defeats, and 2 wins. Those wins against 2 relegated teams.
Yeah, but there's things we have to improve on, and that's why I'm saying I don't think Spurs would, getting top 4 great, but then for what? We're not at a stage where we can compete. That's again papering over it. It's giving the club what they want in terms of Daniel Levy. The fact that you say, again we've managed to scrape into the top 4.
But you wouldn't have scraped out of 8 games.
No, we wouldn't.
That's not scraping into the top 4. You would have bounced into the top 4.
We lost 4 in a row.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We lost 4 in a row, and that is down to the system. That is down to the system, conceding 4 goals every week. Not turning up in games. So that's why, for me, I've said the whole time, I don't think we need to be. This one dead as well? Oh. That's why I said this season. Clearly, I just wanted it louder, double mic. that's why for me this season it didn't have to necessarily end up with us being in the top 4, because clearly in terms of consistency, the first half of the season was good. The second half was pretty crap for majority of it. You know, there's a lot of games we have lost badly. So they need to understand the way that Ange obviously wants to play, and he obviously wants the players he wants to come in and implement that. So he'll have that this summer, and you know, let's see what we can do in the Europa League.
Yeah. Sixth place.
Yeah, somehow managed to get ourselves into the 60s. I have no idea how that happened. 5 wins in a row at the end, but I would probably give it a 6 out of 10 max, just because we managed to finish on a good note. But I think we needed a trophy to really give the season a bit more weight, because you know, at the end of the day, that's the only metric everybody's interested in, is trophies. So I'm glad that we managed to pull it back, but I can't just remove myself from the 32 weeks or 30 weeks of being literally 12th and 10th, and that's why I won't go any higher than a 6. But there's something to build on there. There's a young group, there's some talented players in there, there's some adjustments that need to be made. Cole Palmer is really like the shining light of the season. That's the biggest positive we're taking from the season, is the guy has got like 33 G&A in the Premier League this season.
That's mad.
Young player of the year, went for the golden boot, was going for the playmaker, was going for everything, and was ridiculous. Even on the last day of the season there against Bournemouth, he wasn't great, still gets an assist. We weren't great. I think we were pretty fortunate to beat Bournemouth, to be honest. I think we conceded like 22 shots or something. It was really poor. It was actually very reminiscent of how we used to play a few months ago, so it wasn't a great performance. But we had someone leaving with Thiago Silva, got a nice banner at the beginning of the game as well. I don't know how he's managed to grow such a massive attachment to our club in such a short space of time. Every time he does a speech, he's tearing up. His family, his 2 boys that play for Chelsea as well. He wants them to play for Chelsea when they're older. So, yeah, I think the day was more about Thiago Silva for us, and then we'll see what happens with the manager, because there's still reports flying around all over the place about his future.
Yeah, what would you do with the manager?
I'm torn, because I don't think this squad is being built for him, and I don't think they're going to back him with his profiles or his players that he would prefer, which is more, I think, P&P in that direction. We're going with a very technical team, but it's not the most physical team, and we've struggled on set pieces all season. We've defensively been horrendous this season. I think it's our worst defensive year since Premier League began. So I don't necessarily think long term he's gonna be the one to take this team to the next level, because I just don't think him and the team line up. But I do think it would be nice for the players if they had a bit of stability. I don't want them to necessarily have to start all over again in the summer, learn a whole new system, a whole new way of playing. They do really back the manager, and they do like him. So it would be nice if we could at least see out the contract, bring a bit of stability. But he's under pressure, because we do need to win something next season, and we do need to make top 4. So if he feels he can do that, then great. If he doesn't feel like he can do it with Gallagher maybe sold and Chalobah sold and not getting his players, then maybe they'll have to come to a mutual agreement like they did with De Zerbi and Bloom.
There's a lot of talk that he will have to sell one of those homegrown big players in either Gallagher. Well, that'd be a big blow if it's Gallagher.
Massive.
Yeah, I mean,
Spurs want
You don't want to go as well, does it?
he doesn't want to go, no. But the thing is, it's in Gallagher's hand. He doesn't have to leave, because even though they might want him to leave, they tried to sell him to Everton, I think, last January, and he just rejected it, so I'm not going there. If you just dig your heels in, they're going to have to give you a new contract at some point. They're not going to let you go for free. You're like a £50 million asset. So I think if he just says, I'm not moving, if Pochettino stays, he can stay and know that he's going to get minutes. So
Okay, Rasmus.
How's what then?
How many goals are you going to concede?
But listen, Flex.
We're talking about we're summing up the season, mate.
First
we're talking about the season.
Flex is it's been a
You
horrendous.
thought we'd lose 11-0 in the final last year. It was 2-1, so close to fair, mate.
Listen, it's been a horrendous season for Manchester United. We do have to factor
Worst
in.
ever, Robbie.
Worst ever season. Do we guys here have to factor in the fact that they've had some horrendous injuries?
No.
I mean,
No.
50 odd centre-back partnerships. Can't put your team out.
I didn't get an injury excuse, so they're not getting one.
I tried to bring that up. I didn't get any.
It's not happening.
Love for
No
that.
chance.
What do you want to do?
On to the next point.
So the injuries mean nothing. Injuries mean
nothing.
absolutely
Not
nothing. Injuries are no
Guess
part of it.
what?
Sum up the season.
Deal
for
with
us.
it. Biggest club in the
Sum it
world.
up.
Deal with it.
Injuries are not part of it.
Hold that.
At all.
No, because we've all
None.
hold our own
Hold.
injuries.
None. Not even like 5%. None.
Brighton have had injuries.
Newcastle.
Newcastle have had
Joe, I'll
injuries.
give
We've
you-
had
I'll give you
injuries.
10%.
You can't say it's not part of anything.
I'll give you 10%.
It's not the main reason, but you can't say
You're
it's
still
not part of
dead.
it.
Just saying, everyone's had
Because
injuries.
there's a reason why, like you
Still
said,
dead, though.
same for you.
We finished 8th, worst ever
Eighth.
Premier League season for Manchester United.
Chance for back-to-back silverware. That's what we've got to go for. Do you know what I mean? Chance for
Ultimate
back-to-back
spin
silverware.
doctor. Alistair Campbell
It's been an
setting.
awful season. Didn't expect it to happen, and our season's not finished yet. So I'm not really. I'm waiting for our season to come to a close, Monday. The next Monday shows when I'll give you my true analysis of the team, because I could be sitting here as an FA Cup winner, or I could be sitting here trophyless in an 8th.
Do you think you can win that game?
Pardon?
You think you can win that game against City?
Of course we can.
I don't think your season should be defined by one game, though. I think your conclusion should be pretty.
No. There's a lot of caveats. Listen, it's shocking, absolutely awful, ridiculous season. The injuries are part of it. Of course they are. They don't have nothing to do with it. But what's actually annoyed me in the last 3 games is the fact that Ten Hag has gone more pragmatic. He's changed the formation. He's more compact. We're playing a 4-4-2 or like a 4-2-2 at the moment, but 4-4-2 out of possession. And I'm saying that, well, if you can be a little bit more flexible now, why didn't you do that? What they must not do is just panic just because we finished 8th, which is horrendous, and say we're changing the manager just for the sake of it. No, only change the manager if they found the guy who they think will align with what they want to do. I've got no problems with that. So I think he'll stay just because of that. He's only got a year left on his deal, so it's not like if you go to Christmas or October to say let's have a look, they can get rid of him fairly easily. But if he wins the FA Cup, and I know what Matisse is saying is true, the real measure of where you
I think
are
that's
at
how you should be leaving.
Is 38 games. That shows you where your team is actually at. But if he does do that, it does change the complexity of it.